June 16th on this day, in 455, the city of Rome was sacked by the Vandal army, marking a significant event in the decline of the Western Roman Empire. In 1779, Spain declared war on Great Britain to support France and the United States, initiating the Great Siege of Gibraltar. This conflict lasted for over 3 years, becoming one of the longest sieges in British history. In 1815, Napoleon Bonaparte achieved a significant victory over the Prussian forces at the Battle of Ligny, shortly before his final defeat at Waterloo. In 1855, William Booth, the British preacher who would later found the Salvation Army, married Catherine Mumford at Stockwell Green Congregational Church in Surrey, England. Catherine co-founded the Salvation Army with her husband. In 1858, Abraham Lincoln delivered his famous "A house divided against itself cannot stand" speech when he accepted the Illinois Republican Party's nomination for the United States Senate. This powerful message reflected the growing divisions within the country leading up to the Civil War. In 1864, the Siege of Petersburg and Richmond began after a moonlight skirmish during the American Civil War. This siege was a pivotal moment that contributed to the eventual fall of the Confederacy. In 1874, Arthur Mahan, who would later become Prime Minister of Canada and leader of the Conservative Party, was born. He served as Prime Minister from 1920 to 1921, and again briefly in 1926. In 1902, the musical The Wizard of Oz made its debut in Chicago, Illinois, bringing the beloved story to the stage and cementing its place in American popular culture. In 1903, the Ford Motor Company was founded by Henry Ford and 11 associate investors, marking the beginning of an automotive revolution that transformed global transportation. In 1904, the events described in James Joyce's novel Ulysses took place, giving rise to the annual celebration known as Bloomsday, which honors the literary achievements of Joyce and his character Leopold Bloom. In 1907, the Russian Tsar dissolved the Duma, the parliament in St. Petersburg, intensifying political unrest in early 20th century Russia. In 1909, Jim Thorpe made his professional baseball pitching debut for Rocky Mount in the Eastern Carolina League, winning the game with a score of 4-2. This event later led to Thorpe forfeiting his Olympic gold medals due to breaking amateur athletic rules. In 1910, the first official Father's Day was celebrated in Spokane, Washington, honoring fathers and paternal bonds. In 1911, International Business Machines Corporation, known as IBM, was incorporated as a pioneering American computer manufacturer that would shape global technology. In 1925, France accepted a German proposal for a security pact, which aimed to ease tensions and promote lasting peace in post-World War I Europe. In 1928, Thomas E. Dewey, who would later become governor of New York and a presidential candidate, married Frances Eileen Hutt, an American stage actress. In 1932, the Lausanne Conference opened with the goal of liquidating Germany's payment of reparations to the former Allied and associated powers of World War I. In 1932, the ban on Nazi stormtroopers in Germany was lifted by the von Papen government, influencing the rise of the Nazi Party. In 1933, the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, known as FDIC, was created under the Federal Reserve Act. This institution was designed to protect bank deposits and restore public confidence in the United States banking system. In 1940, French Chief of State Henri Pétain asked for an armistice with Germany during World War II, leading to the occupation of much of France. In 1943, English comic actor and filmmaker Charlie Chaplin, age 54, married English-American actress Una O'Neill, age 18. Their marriage lasted until Chaplin's death in 1977. In 1952, the Diary of Anne Frank was published in the United States. This personal account by Anne Frank, a Jewish girl hiding from the Nazis during World War II, became a defining testimony of the Holocaust. In 1960, Alfred Hitchcock's psychological horror film Psycho premiered in New York City. The movie, featuring performances by Janet Leigh, Anthony Perkins, and Vera Miles, became a cinematic classic, with its iconic shower scene recognized as one of the most famous moments in film history. In 1961, ballet star Rudolf Nureyev defected from the Soviet Union while in Paris, making headlines around the world and initiating a celebrated career in the West. In 1963, Soviet cosmonaut Valentina Tereshkova became the first woman in space aboard Vostok 6, completing 48 orbits around the Earth and earning her the title Hero of the Soviet Union, along with a United Nations Gold Medal of Peace. In 1967, the Monterey Pop Festival opened, bringing together legendary artists such as Jimi Hendrix, The Who, Ravi Shankar, and Janis Joplin for a 3-day concert that defined a generation. In 1972, RCA released David Bowie's fifth studio album, The Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars. The album is widely considered Bowie's artistic breakthrough and a milestone in the history of rock music. In 1976, South African police opened fire on a group of Soweto students who were protesting against government plans to impose the Afrikaans language as a medium of instruction in black schools. The violent response ignited the Soweto Uprising, a massive movement against apartheid that is commemorated as Youth Day. In 1978, the film Grease, starring John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John, and based on the 1972 Broadway musical, premiered to great acclaim and became a cultural phenomenon.
Subscribe so you don't miss tomorrow's events.